Good morning, everyone. My name is Erica Haley, and I will be doing the presentation on Servium today. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. All right, so let's get started. Today we'll be looking at Servium's trends from 2007, 2012, and the first 3 quarters of 2013. In this presentation, we will be looking at past sales trends and diving into the data we have to work with by examining our top 10 products and customers from all 3 years, with our main focus on 2012 and 2013. And you'll see why we will be looking at 2012 and 13 instead of really focusing on 2007. We'll also be discussing different ideas on how to improve sales for Servium in 2014. We'll be taking a look at how sales are distributed over the many different regions and that we are working in as we work towards expanding those regions to increase sales and reach more people. We have done such a great job in the last 2 years, and that is evident in our growing sales numbers. But there is always room for improvement. So we will wrap things up by looking at a few recommendations and brainstorming with the group. We have some bright minds and hard workers in this room, and I am excited to see what our team can do. Let's get started. Okay, so here we have our sales overview. We'll be looking at data from 2007, 2012, and 2013. And as I mentioned earlier, we won't be focusing too much on 2007 because, as you can see, we only have 2 months of data. So, the reason for that is because we opened our doors in November of 2007 with high hopes, and in December of 2007 we were hit with the Great Recession. So the economy wasn't doing well, and we were really just forced to close our doors. So we took the next 5 years to just kind of watch the economy, plan a little bit. We took advantage of the government bailouts, and then we opened our doors again in January of 2012. So that first month we had our revenue was $31,918.90. And as you can see, we were just on an upward climb, and in May we hit our highest number that year of $68,285.50. So as you can see, the rest of the year we're really trying to establish ourselves and grow our market. So we ended 2012 with $576,156.60. And then that brings us to 2013. So for 2013, we only have 9 months of data. That's the first 3 quarters. We haven't finalized the last 3 quarters, so by our next meeting we'll have those numbers and be able to go over that. So 2013 we started off with $57,292.27. That's around $30,000 more than we had in 2012. So our highest month that year, last year, was in August, and that is when we had $149,224.86. So that is amazing. It's 3 times as much as we had in August. And September we didn't do so well, but our numbers for October, November, and December, I've seen them, and they are amazing. So we're thinking that we'll be able to end 2013 around $1 million. So that's really exciting. For 2014, we're shooting for total revenue sales of $1.5 million or more. So our company is just growing, and we have so many great ideas, and I'm excited to see what we can do. Okay, so here we have our 2007 top 10 customers data. Like I said earlier, we won't be spending too much time on 2007 data, but there are 2 companies I wanted to point out to y'all. That's Quick Stop and Ernst & Handel. Those were our 2 top customers in 2007, and they are also names that you do not want to forget. Okay, so here we have our 2012 top 10 customers. There's Ernst & Handel again. They're our number 1 customer for 2012. Save-A-Lot Markets, Quick Stop again, And those are our top 3 out of our top 10. Our Ernst Handel accounts for 7.9% of our 2012 revenue. Save-A-Lot Markets accounts for 7.6%, and Quick Stop accounts for 7.2%. So those top 3 account for about 22.7% of our revenue sales for 2012. Our top 10 account for 48.2% of our top sales for 2012. Okay, so here we have our 2013 top 10 customers. Our first customer is Save-A-Lot Markets. Next customer is Quick Stop. Next customer is Ernst Handel. So those 3 customers remain in our top 3, and they're actually $25,000 more than the next top customer, which is Hungry Owl All Night Grocers. So I'm going to focus mainly on those top 3, with Save-A-Lot Markets being 9.8% of our revenue for 2013, Quick Stop being 9.3%, Ernst Handel being 8.6%. So those 3 combined account for 27.7% of revenue for 2013. All 10 of our top customers account for 51% of our 2013 revenue. So that means all the other companies account for 49%. Okay, so here we have our 2012 and 2013 comparison charts for top customer sales. And as you can see, our top 3 grocery stores have remained in the top 3 over the last 2 years. That's Ernst Handel, Save-A-Lot Markets, and Quick Stop. So the difference in sales for those 2 over 2012 and 2013, for Save-A-Lot Markets, their sales increased 38% in 2013. For Ernst Handel, their sales increased 26.5% in 2013. And for Quick Stop, their sales increased by 38.3% in 2013. So between 2012 and 2013, over the top 10 customer sales, there was a 25% increase from 2012 to 2013. A couple things we did notice were that Hungry Owl All Night Grocers sales did increase, and that was about by $17,000. So that's great news. We also noticed that unfortunately rattlesnake sales went down. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. We'll have to send out our field guides and so that they can touch base with the managers and really just build a solid relationship with them. We'll also see what kind of marketing strategies we can do there, and see if we can bring sales up for next year. And a couple things that we did notice also, we got some new top customers in 2013 that we didn't have in 2012. Bottom Dollar Markets is one, White Clover Markets is one, Folk Che La Feheb is one, Konglek Essen is one, and Hanari Karnas is one. Okay, so here we are at 2007 top product sales. Like I've mentioned before, we won't be spending too much time here, especially since it was just 2 months worth of data. But I did just want to point out that Rachelat Cordova was our top seller in those last 2 months of 2007. Okay, so here we have our 2012 top product sales. The product that brought in the most revenue in 2012 was Côte de Blois. It's a wine. The second product that brought in the most revenue was Rachelat Cordova. And the third product that brought in the most revenue was Thüringer Rösterwurst. The difference between our highest revenue producing product and our second highest is a 62% difference. So in 2012, we definitely were lacking in figuring out how to close that gap. So that's something that we definitely wanted to look at for 2013. Okay, so here we have our 2013 top product sales. And you'll notice that Côte d'Ivoire, Thuringer, Roasterborst, and Raclette Cordova have remained in the top 3 in product sales over the last 2 years. And if you remember back 2 slides ago, Raclette Cordova was also 2007's highest selling product. So our sales team did a great job at closing the gap between our number 1 revenue producing product and our number 2. So the gap now is at 21% instead of 62% from 2012. Okay, so here we have a comparison chart for 2012 and 2013 top product sales. There was a 26% increase in our top 10 product sales between 2012 and 2013. If you can see, as we mentioned before, the top 3 revenue producing products are Côte d'Ivoire, Thuringer, Roasterborst, and Raclette Cordova. We did get 2 additional products in 2013 that weren't on the 2012 list, and that's Ikura and Uncle Bob's organic dried pears. And this is no surprise with health awareness and people wanting to get organic and be healthier. Okay, so here we have our top regions pie chart for 2007. Germany obviously being the largest region that we had for those 2 months in 2007. Okay, so here is our top regions pie chart for 2012. We have US and Germany being our largest markets by far. Austria is coming in really close after that. So we'll want to expand our markets in the other regions, but really focus on US and Germany since that is where most of our revenue is coming from. Alright, so as you can see, this is our top regions pie chart for 2013. USA and Germany remain in the top regions. Austria is right behind them, and then we have Brazil, Sweden, Ireland, France, the UK, Switzerland, and Belgium. Okay, so here we have our comparison pie charts for 2012 and 2013. As you can see, US and Germany pretty much stayed the same. They are still our largest markets. US increased by 2%. Germany increased by 3%. Austria decreased by 1%. France increased by 4%. Brazil by 2% increase. Canada is no longer on the 2013 top regions, so we'll definitely need to implement something in their market and kind of see what's going on, send some field guys out there. The UK decreased 1%. Ireland increased 2%. Denmark is no longer on the 2013 pie chart, and neither is Sweden. So we'll also want to do the same thing with those 2 markets as we did with Canada and just kind of see what's going on, touch base with them so that we can keep our customers and have good customer retention. However, we did gain Belgium and Switzerland in the 2013 top regions. So that's who kind of switched out with Denmark and Sweden. Okay, so now that we've looked at some trends from our past, let's start planning for the future of Serviam. The first thing we can do is decrease the cost per unit sold. The more money we can save on costs, the more money we can make in revenue. So we can do this by making negotiations with our vendors and seeing if we can get a deal, or what we can do as far as ordering, if we need to change up our ordering patterns or anything like that. The next thing is increasing average revenue per product sold. We want to be competitive with the market and increase price where demand of product is higher. The next thing would be market regions of economic growth and stability. We want to remain in US and Germany. We know the markets are stable there. We don't want another 2007 crisis, obviously. But going forward, we also want to market regions that have a promising future and that are stable. The next thing would be a large market focus. So like I said earlier, we definitely want to stay focused in US and Germany and target to increase sales in those regions, because that is where the bulk of our revenue is coming in right now. And so if we can increase that and then target any of the other regions, would obviously be a great bonus. But we want to focus on the largest products that are being sold in those regions. The next thing would be sales training. We want to train our the people that are going out in the field and making relationships with our customers. We want to have great customer service, for them to be familiar with the markets and the regions that they're working in. The next thing would be to obviously develop trust and relationships with our customers, because that is huge for customer retention. That's about all we have for today. If you have any questions, we're going to be brainstorming at everyone's tables and kind of seeing any ideas that we can come up with. But thank you so much for listening to me.